the Let's Master English podcast, and I'm your host, Coach Shane. Hello, everybody. Another episode of Let's Master English. This episode, June 8th, 2023. How are you doing today? It's been a busy week for me. Next week is actually going to be busier. Yeah, so I'm worried about next week because I want to do this Let's Master English podcast, like every day as much as possible. However, next week I have to do the radio show all week long. And the radio show, I have to get to the studio at 4 a.m. And then I get out of the studio at around 9:30 every morning. And then I have to come home and take care of the kids. I got to do my lessons. So I know this is just me and I'm complaining. I'm so busy. But what I'm saying is I worry that I'll get really tired and I won't be able to make as many Let's Master English podcasts next week. So if that happens, don't be angry. Just understand, Coach Shane, it's a busy week for him, so that's probably why. So I'm just letting you know right now. Don't be angry. I love you. I do. All right, we got a great show today. We got a news story, of course. Country Shane's got a cool fact. We have a Q&A, a question from my DDM. And it's actually a mistake that I made, so I'm fixing it in public because you know what? Monkeys fall from trees. And I'm just a monkey, and I fell from the tree. But it gives me a great opportunity to teach you something very important. So check out the Q&A. We got history, of course, and it's really interesting stuff, so I want you to check it out. Enjoy the entire podcast. And enough chit-chat. Let's get to the news. Shocking results from a 2-year drone study conducted by Cal State Long Beach's Shark Lab revealed that juvenile white sharks often swam very close to humans on Southern California beaches, but mostly ignored them. The study, which spanned 26 different beaches, found that sharks were near people on 97% of surveyed days, yet no shark bites were reported. The study wants to challenge the common misconception that the presence of a white shark nearby equates to an imminent attack, and it highlights the potential of drone surveillance in enhancing beach safety and furthering research. Oh my God. Did you understand? Yeah, the simple story is when you are in the ocean swimming and having fun, there is a shark nearby. Yeah, 97%. That's what they said. All right, now I guess I have been to the ocean in California, but more frequently I've been to the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean. The ocean in California, that's the Pacific Ocean. Where I usually go is the Atlantic Ocean. It's only like 2-3 hours from here, so it's not too far away. And I've been swimming in the ocean with my son Mikey and Jimmy. And now they tell me there's a really good chance that there was a shark near me. No, thank you. I saw the movie Jaws. I do not want to be a victim. That is scary. It's scary to me. What about you? I wonder. All right, let's go over the story. Shocking results. Very surprising, astonishing. We could say amazing results from what? A 2-year drone study. So a 2-year study. So they've been studying something for 2 years. They've been doing research for 2 years. How have they been doing the study? With a drone. D-R-O-N-E. You know what a drone is, right? You can fly them, right? It's those little tiny things that you can fly. Yeah, they say that, Amazon is going to deliver packages by drone. What do you think? Anyway, so a drone study, they got a camera, right? So they're taking this drone and they're flying it to study something. And they've been doing this for 2 years. Who has been doing the study? Shocking results from a 2-year drone study done by. Who's doing the research? Cal State Long Beach's Shark Lab. So Cal State, California State, Long Beach, that's the city. So the city of Long Beach in the state of California, possessive S, Shark Lab. Oh, shark. I think you know what a shark is. SHARK, the fish. Lab, LAB, laboratory, research center. So the Shark Research Center at the University of California, Cal State in Long Beach, has been doing a 2-year drone study. And what did they find? What were the results? The results showed that juvenile white sharks, juvenile simply means young, adolescent, teenager basically. I don't know in shark years, but anyway, very young, okay? Young white sharks often swam very close to humans on Southern California beaches. But there's good news. Mostly, those sharks, not completely, mostly ignored them. So the juvenile white sharks are swimming next to you, and usually they ignore you. I guess not always. Oh, that's so scary. So that's a very long sentence. Listen again. Shocking results from a 2-year drone study conducted by Cal State Long Beach's Shark Lab revealed that juvenile white sharks often swam very close to humans on Southern California beaches, but mostly ignored them. So once again, that one word is scary. Well, there are many scary words. Sharks swimming close to people is scary, but mostly ignored them. Mostly, M-O-S-T-L-Y. Mostly, almost always, but not always. Oh, geez. All right, let's continue. The study, which spanned 26 different beaches. So they didn't just study one beach. This study covered 26 different beaches. That's a lot of different beaches. Okay. Anyway, the study found that sharks were near people on 97% of surveyed days. So if they went outside, okay, hey guys, let's study today. Let's take the drone out to the beach and see if there are any sharks. Okay? So if they did that on 100 days, on 97 days, sharks were near people. Only 3 days where the sharks were not near people. But there's more good news, so listen again. Here we go. The study, which spanned 26 different beaches, found that sharks were near people on 97% of surveyed days, yet no shark bites were reported. Whew. So on the days they were there, no shark bites, even though the sharks were there. That's good. That's good. Still scary. Anyway, we'll continue first. The study wants to challenge the common misconception. So the study wants to challenge. The study wants to show that the common misunderstanding, that the presence of a white shark nearby equates to an imminent attack. All right, we got a tough sentence again. So basically, think about this. You and me, right? We're at the beach, right? And we see a shark in the water. What do you and I think? We think, get out! Get out of the water! Jaws! We think that shark is going to bite us. It's going to bite someone, right? That's what we think. The presence of a white shark nearby, close, equates to, equals, an imminent, about to happen, attack. We think if we see a shark in the water, there is going to be an attack. And this study says that thinking is a misconception. It's a misunderstanding. You and I believe we see a shark in the water, it's going to bite. But they say, no, that is a misconception. That's a misunderstanding. That's not true. And that's what this study wants to teach us. They want to teach us that just because you see a shark doesn't mean it's going to attack you. Doesn't mean it's going to bite you. Okay? So that part of the sentence again. The study wants to challenge the common misconception that the presence of a white shark nearby equates to an imminent attack. Okay, do you understand? Next, and the study highlights the potential of drone surveillance in enhancing beach safety. And it shows us how great using a drone is for making beach safety better. And of course, for furthering research. And of course, for doing more research, for advancing more research. All right? Does that make sense? That's not too bad. It's a good story. It's a scary story, though. And this story, I understand, 97% sharks. There's a shark near you. There's a shark near people. But they're not going to bite usually. Mostly. They're not going to bite. So I understand it's a positive story. Don't think bad about sharks. However, this does not help me. No. In fact, it makes me even more scared. I got 2 little boys. I do not want my little boys eaten by sharks. I understand they're going to ignore my boys usually, mostly, but not always. Right? Oh my gosh, so scary. All right, we got some great words here. Shocking, surprising, astonishing, conducted, performed, conducted a study, performed a study, carried out a study. Juvenile white sharks. Juvenile, J-U-V-E-N-I-L-E. Juvenile white sharks, young, adolescent white sharks. Spanned 26 different beaches, covered 26 different beaches, stretched over 26 different beaches. Surveyed, the surveyed days, the days that were studied. Misconception, a misunderstanding, a mistaken belief. Equates to, equals, is equivalent to. Imminent attack, about to happen, likely to happen. Oh my God, there's an imminent attack. It will probably happen. Enhancing, improving, increasing, furthering, advancing. Yeah, so these are some great vocabulary words. I hope that you're catching it. And, memorizing vocabulary words is very important, but hearing how they're used in a real story is actually the best way to get those words. So let me read the story for you one more time. Shocking results from a 2-year drone study conducted by Cal State Long Beach's Shark Lab revealed that juvenile white sharks often swam very close to humans on Southern California beaches, but mostly ignored them. The study, which spanned 26 different beaches, found that sharks were near people on 97% of surveyed days, yet no shark bites were reported. The study wants to challenge the common misconception that the presence of a white shark nearby equates to an imminent attack, and it highlights the potential of drone surveillance in enhancing beach safety and furthering research. How you doing, everybody? This is Country Shane, and I'm bringing you the facts. Did you know that sharks have been around for over 400 million years? That's even before dinosaurs roamed the earth. And the Greenland shark is the oldest known living shark species. Some of those boys are over 400 years old. Wow. 400 years? Man, that's back to 1723 if we take today's date, right? June 8th, 1723, a baby shark was born, and it's still alive. Who else was alive in 1723? I think Bach, right? Dun, 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 dun. Bach was probably around there. Who else? I have no idea. Christopher Columbus? That's a long... 400 years. If you could live for 400 years, would you? Would you want to? Me? That's a long time, but I think I would be interested in doing that. Yeah. I think I don't know. I think I would be. What about you? We got a great question. Let's get to it.
Where education and entertainment come together. Let's master English. Do it.
In our last DDM assignment, we had this sentence: if it were up to me, we would have been on vacation, or if it were up to me, we would be on vacation. Now, the sentence actually was, if it were up to me, we would be on vacation. And the question that I got, why shouldn't it be we would have been on vacation and not we would be on vacation? And the answer I always say, and Igor busted me on this. I think Victoria asked the question and Igor busted me. I always say Americans don't like passive voice. And what I mean is the word have, H-A-V-E, Americans just don't like using the word have. Of course we use it. Of course we do. But when it comes to grammar or grammatic situations, I think you're going to hear passive voice and specifically the word have a lot more in British English than you do in American English. Sometimes we cancel the sound. But in the structure that I just gave you, it's not passive voice. And that was my mistake. So I'm going to fix my mistake and make sure everybody understands. Now listen carefully again. If it were up to me, do you know what that means? That means if it were my decision. If it were my decision, we would have been on vacation. And if it were my decision, we would be on vacation. Both of these sentences are absolutely fine. They're different. Would have been is called a conditional perfect tense. But all you need to know is would have been is something that could have happened in the past, but it did not. A hypothetical situation in the past, P-A-S-T, that did not happen. So the key here is past, P-A-S-T. If it were up to me, we would be on vacation, this is called conditional present tense, and it means now, present, or future. So if it was a hypothetical situation in the past that did not actually occur, would have been as perfect. But the big question is conditional present tense, present or future situation. Is this common? Yes, it's common. It's not as common as would have been. I think most English students who study grammar, who know their grammar well, they all know if it were up to me, we would have been on vacation. This is a very easy sentence. I think people understand it, no problem. But the conditional present tense is less common, so therefore confusing. If it were up to me, if it were my decision, we would be on vacation is absolutely fine. The focus is now, the present, or the future. So let me give you a couple more examples of conditional present tense. Okay, present would be. All right, so listen to this one. If I had more money, I would buy a new car. That's a hypothetical situation right now in the present. That sentence is fine. If I had more money, I would buy a new car now. Here's another one. This one is future. If it stops raining, we will go for a walk. Hypothetical situation. If it stops raining in the future, we will go for a walk. No problem. Conditional present tense is what we call it. If I were you, hypothetical situation, I'm not. If I were you, I would apologize. Present tense. Okay? So yes, the conditional present tense absolutely is perfect, and Americans love to use it. It is not as common as conditional perfect tense. Would have been. That is always in the past. Would be is in the present or future. So grammar, guys, I don't like talking about grammar, but when you guys ask important questions, especially if I give you the wrong answer, I need to make sure that I fix that. So hopefully you understand it. These sentences illustrate hypothetical situations or unreal situations in the present or future. And while the conditional present tense may not be as common as other tenses, it's still used to express possibilities, desires, or expectations in certain situations. Thank you very much to my English book for that sentence. That is it. I hope the next question is easier and more fun. Keep those questions rolling in, guys. Today in history, June 8th. In 1876, the first passenger train service began between Montreal and Vancouver in Canada. It was called the Transcontinental Railway, 4,000 kilometers, 2,500 miles. Amazing. That was June 8th, 1876. Montreal is about 2 hours from me. I should go up there and take a train to Vancouver and say hi to some of my students along the way. On June 8th, 1949, oh my God, George Orwell's 1984 novel was written. Yeah, that's where we learned about the totalitarian society. We learned about Big Brother and the thought police. And many people right now in 2023 believe we are living in 1984. Well, that book was published today in 1949. In 1972, oh, what a great day. The video game Pong, P-O-N-G, was released by Atari. It's not the first, but basically the first commercially successful arcade video game. And you could play it at home. It's just like tennis. It was great. I did it. I loved it. It was fantastic. June 8th, 1978, it got better. Space Invaders was released in Japan. Oh, do you remember Space Invaders? Or is that just for old people? Yeah, so 1972, they had Pong, which was great. 1978, so much better. Space Invaders. That was June 8th. On June 8th in 1984, what happened? Not George Orwell's 1984, but the movie Ghostbusters. Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis. Yes, Ghostbusters was first released. And on June 8th, 2005, YouTube was officially launched. Can you believe that? So that's only 18 years since the beginning of YouTube. Wow. And what a huge impact YouTube has had on the world, right? Amazing. Again, it is June 8th, and there are some special observances. Today, June 8th, is Best Friends Day. Do you have a best friend? I have to say, guys, it's kind of sad, but I don't think I have a best friend. My wife is my best friend, but she's my wife, right? But yeah, I don't there's not a guy that I call, hey, let's go have a beer or let's go fishing. No, I don't have a best friend. I feel so sad. What about you? Do you have a best friend? It's also jelly-filled donut day. Oh, those are my favorite donuts. Jelly-filled donuts. Raspberry jelly, strawberry jelly, blueberry jelly. Yum. And, of course, we had that news story about sharks. I'm so clever. I chose that story because today is World Oceans Day. So if you have a chance to go see the ocean, to go check out the ocean, go do that today. It is World Oceans Day. And remember, there's a shark nearby. All right, that's all we have for today's episode of the LME podcast, June 8th, 2023. I hope you found the story about the white sharks and their interaction with humans in Southern California. I hope you found it intriguing. Was it interesting? Lots of great language points, and I hope you learned something. In our Q&A session, we discussed that confusing, but not too confusing, but for some students, confusing difference between conditional perfect and conditional present tense. Practice a lot. Use my examples and make your own examples, okay? In history, we talked about June 8th, of course, the first passenger train in Canada, coast to coast, basically, from Montreal to Vancouver. George Orwell's 1984, Pong, the birth of YouTube, Space Invaders. And you know what? Before I say goodbye, I would greatly appreciate it if you could leave a review on your favorite podcast platform, whether it's iTunes or Spotify or wherever. Your feedback helps us improve, and it helps more people see us. And like I said, if you guys like the new Let's Master English podcast, I'm going to try and do it like 3-4 times a week. If you like this, please tell your friends. Please give a rating. Please, because if there's only 50 people listening, it doesn't excite me. But if I got 500 people listening, or 5,000 or 50,000 people listening, that is exciting. And that's where I want to go, and I need your help to get there. So leave a rating, tell your friends, share it, on Facebook and wherever you are, just put a link so that people can find it and listen to it, all right? Get my free VIP lessons, letsmasterenglish.com. Get the newsletter. We'll send you, if you like the lessons we send, we'll send you VIP and 2 weeks of live classes for free. Oh, our super summer sale is coming up at the end of June. We have a massive sale on our memberships, so get serious about English and save some money. Thanks so much for tuning in. I will catch you in the next Let's Master English podcast. Go buy your best friend a jelly-filled donut, and together, let's master English.